Hey guys, in this video we're going to be talking about variables. Now, what are variables? It's how you store data. So I'll give you this example right here. Say I want to do this complicated operation and I want to take this number and add 5 to it. Whatever the result of this number is, I want to add 5 to it. And so I take the value right here, and how would I do this? Well, I take the value and I add 5. But this was kind of annoying to take the value and add 5 to it, right? So what we could do is we can store it. Fundamentally, what we want is that we want to take this value, store it somewhere, and quickly access it again such that we can add 5 to the value. This is where variables come into play. Variables are, as the name implies, variable, and they can store any value that you give it. They can store numbers, they can store strings, they can store lists, they can store dictionaries. Any type of expression, we give it a variable and it can take care of the rest. It'll store it and we can always access it later on. So how would we do this example with the variable? Well, we could take x equals whatever this result is and store it. So what I did right here is I said x, which is the name of my new variable, is going to equal, think of it like an assignment. I'm saying x equals that, it will from now on, the result of this expression. And to access a variable, all I do is I type out the name of the variable, right? X. And there's my value from above. So what I did is that you might now notice that this equal sign, well, I remember from math, equals is like, does 5 equals 5? Yeah. You might be wondering, well, does x equal this complicated number? In Python, we have a different way of checking for what's called equality, checking to make sure that two numbers are equal. In this case, what we're doing is we're assigning it. One equal sign means assignment. So in this example right here, I have x, which is equal to this value, and now all I can do to get plus 5 is to do x plus 5, and there we have it, our next 5 number. Now say I wanted to add to this number again, right? I wanted to take this result and add 5 to it again. Well, I can assign a variable, right? A new variable, say y. And I could say y equals x plus 5. And now if I want to add 5 to it again, I can say y plus 5. And again, to access the value, I just do that. Now keep in mind, variables don't have to be just one letter. They can be multiple things. You can make it my variable name right here. It can be as long as you want in terms of a name. So my variable name equals 4. And then when I type this back out again, I'm going to get 4. The only thing is that variables can't have spaces between them. So to kind of figure out what words are part of my huge long variable name, I kind of use underscores to represent that difference. So I mentioned before, variables can store anything. So I want to make a variable called q and set it equal to high. And hey, what is q equal to? High. So it could store a string. It can do anything. Likewise, a variable can store a list. W equals 1, 2, 3. W. Awesome. Now, I can also rewrite variable names. So I had x right here, right? X is equal to that huge complicated expression. But say I don't want it equal to that expression anymore, I can rewrite it. I say now x is equal to 5. I'm assigning the value to x. Now x is 5. Unfortunately, I lost all the information with respect to this old value, but I'm able to rewrite a value. Now, let's do the following example where I say x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2. Just like in regular Python with my arithmetic expressions, I could do 1 plus 2. I can do operations between variables. I could say x plus y. And if you remember from the other video of string concatenation, because variables can be whatever you want them to be, and they can be strings, for example, I could say p equals high, I could say k equals Mike, and I could do p plus k, and get hi Mike. So that's how we do storing values with variables, and they're very helpful for when we want to do a series of operations, as we'll hopefully see in future videos. Alright guys, if you have any questions, leave in the comments below, and looking forward to the next video. Thanks.